Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to County Court at Law number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. My name is Judge Terrence Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here today. Today, you've been asked to come here for what is called an arraignment. And what the arraignment is, it's an opportunity for the court to tell you what you've been charged with, what your rights are, and the options that you have regarding your case. The case that you have in this court is classified as a misdemeanor case. Criminal cases falls into one or two categories. It would either be classified as a misdemeanor or a felony. Now, your felony cases are commonly referred to as your most serious type of criminal offenses. Your misdemeanor cases are normally referred to as petty offenses. Now, that does not mean that they are not serious. With your felony cases, you have what we call a capital murder. You may have a first-degree felony case. You may have a second-degree felony case, a third-degree felony case, or a state jail felony case. Cases that usually falls in those categories are, like, say, capital murders. You have your aggravated sexual assaults, your aggravated robberies, your aggravated, it could be aggravated kidnapping, could be a theft case, could be a DWI third or higher, could be a manslaughter case, intoxicated manslaughter, intoxicated assault. It could be various types of serious drug cases. Now, if you have a felony, a capital murder, the range of punishment, what I mean by that, the punishment that you can face can be anywhere from life to death if you're found guilty. If you have a first-degree felony, the range of punishment is 5 to 99 years to life. Fine up to $10,000. If it's a second-degree felony, minimum 2 years in TDC, maximum 20 years, fine up to $10,000. Third-degree felony, it could be a minimum 2 years to 3 to 10 years in TDC, a fine up to $10,000. And the lowest type of felony we have is what we call a state jail felony. State jail felonies, a range of punishment is 6 months to 2 years in the state jail. Now, the type of cases we handle over here we handle Class A and Class B misdemeanors. We also handle Class C misdemeanors when they are appealed up from a city court or a justice or JP court. Now, the cases could fall in the Class A and B misdemeanors could be an evading arrest. It could be a failure to identify. Could be a possession of marijuana. Could be a DWI. You can have DWI enhanced. That means with the blood alcohol concentration level is greater than 0.15 or more. You can have assault, family violence. You may have theft cases, Class A and Class B theft. You may have what we call criminal trespass cases or criminal mischief cases, as well as some other drug cases, such as possession of marijuana, possession of synthetic marijuana, and a possession of controlled substance. Now, if you have a Class A misdemeanor, which is our highest misdemeanor that we have, the range of punishment can be anywhere from confinement of 0 days in the county jail to a maximum of 1 year in the county jail, or anywhere in between, a fine from $0 to $4,000, or you could be given both such fine and confinement. If you have a Class B misdemeanor, the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor is anywhere from 0 days to 180 days, which is 6 months in the county jail, a fine from $0 to $2,000, or anywhere in between, or you could be given both such fine and confinement. Now, if it's a Class C misdemeanor, those cases are what we call fine only. So you cannot be given jail time, but the range of punishment is a fine only. Now, the paperwork that has been handed out to you, I'll go over that with you. That first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. As a defendant in a criminal case, you have 3 options. Number 1, you may hire an attorney. Number 2, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney be appointed to represent you. Number 3, you may represent yourself. If you want an attorney to represent you and you have enough money to hire one, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have enough money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not you qualify for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of right to be represented by an attorney. And that written waiver of right is actually the second page on that document. Now, be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. At the bottom of that document, it states, defendant's choice, mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is, I want to hire my own attorney, then you will place your initials on the first line to the left. If your choice is, well, if you have already hired an attorney, then you'll place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to apply for court-appointed counsel, then you'll place your initials on the third line to the left. If you've already been appointed to court-appointed counsel, then you'll put your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the counsel on the line to the right. Now, if you want to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself, then you will put your initials on the fifth line to the left. Now, once you finish initialing one of the 5 lines, you will sign at the bottom where it says defendant, and you will date it today's date, June 29th of 2021. Now, for those of you who will be representing yourself, we'll turn to the second page, and it states waiver of counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial. And it reads, I have been advised of the nature and charges against me and the dangers and disadvantages of self-representation. My waiver is voluntarily and intelligently made. Furthermore, I have been advised this 29th day of June of 2021 by the County Court at Law number 2 of my right to representation by counsel in the case pending against me. I have been further advised that if I am unable to afford counsel, one will be appointed for me free of charge, understanding my right to have counsel appointed for me free of charge. If I am not financially able to employ counsel, I wish to waive that right and request the court to proceed with my case without an attorney being appointed for me. I hereby waive my right to counsel. And if that is your choice, then you will sign on the line where it says defendant, and you will place today's date on that document, June 29th of 2021. Now, as a defendant in a criminal case, you have other rights as well. One other right that you have is called the right to have a trial by jury. Well, those individuals are sitting in that area over there. We call that the jury box. If you request a trial by jury, 6 citizens from Jefferson County will be selected to sit on your case, and they will decide whether or not you're guilty or innocent of your charges after listening to all the evidence in your case. You also have a right to waive or give up your right to have a jury trial. And if you do so, then your case will come before the judge or come before the court, either through what we call a bench trial or through a plea. And what I mean by a plea, that is if you plead guilty or no contest, and if you have a plea bargain agreement, or if you do not have a plea bargain agreement, we call that an unagreed plea. Now, you also have a right to have witnesses to come to court to testify for you or against you. Witnesses sit in the chair where the young lady is sitting, and they can testify for you, against you. You can ask them questions. We call that either direct examination or cross-examination. Now, you have a right to waive your right to have witnesses, which means you have a right to give up your right to have witnesses. And by doing so, you will not be calling witnesses in your case. However, the state will be calling witnesses in your case. Now, you also have a right against self-incrimination. What that basically means, you have a right not to testify in your case. You have a right, you can waive that right and choose to testify if you so desire. You also have a right to see the evidence. We call that you have a right to have discovery, to see the evidence that the state have against you in your case. And that is, you can have a right to see the documents, the videos, witness statements, etc. Whatever evidence that they have in your case, you have a right to have access to that evidence. Now, you also, as a defendant in a criminal case, if you are represented by an attorney, your attorney will have an opportunity to talk to the prosecution, or if you're representing yourself, you'll have an opportunity to talk to the prosecution. And what I mean by talking to them, you'll have an opportunity to see if you can settle your case. We call that see if you can work out a plea bargain agreement. Now, if you are not able to work out a plea bargain agreement, that's fine. If you are able to work out a plea bargain agreement, that's fine too. Now, if you are able to work out a plea bargain agreement, the court do not have to follow that agreement. However, if the court does not follow the agreement that you work out with the state, you have a right to withdraw, which means to take back your plea of either guilty or no contest. Now, if you are able to work out a plea bargain agreement, and if the court follows that plea bargain agreement, then if you decide within 30 days that you would like to appeal your case, then you have to get the court's permission. And what an appeal is, you'll be asking a higher court than this court to review your case. That higher court is located right above us on the 3rd floor. It's called the Ninth Court of Appeals. They will review your case. They could either decide to grant or deny your appeal. If they grant your appeal, then they can simply find you not guilty, or they can send the case back down to this court and order this court to give you a whole new trial. If they deny your appeal, then you'll have a right to appeal it to a higher court than them. That higher court is called the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. They're located in Austin, Texas. It is the highest criminal court in the state of Texas. Now, you would have to file what is called a pro se petition for discretionary review. Pro se means without a lawyer, you'll be representing yourself. You'll be asking the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals to review your case to see whether or not your appeal should have been granted, see if whether or not you've been wrongfully convicted, or to see whether or not this court has committed an error by convicting you. And they can either grant or deny your pro se petition. If they grant your pro se petition, they can find you not guilty, or they can send the case back down to this court and order this court to give you a whole new trial. If they deny your pro se petition, then at that point, your conviction will stand. Now, in your case, you have an option. You could either plead not guilty. If you plead not guilty, you're telling the court that you did not commit the offense that you've been charged with. Or you can plead guilty. If you plead guilty, you're telling the court that you committed the offense that you've been charged with. Or you can enter a plea of no contest. If you enter a plea of no contest, you're telling the court that you will not be fighting or you will not be contesting those charges. Now, everyone in here who has a case, you've been arrested on your case, and every day that you spent in jail could be used as credit toward your punishment. So, for example, you spent 5 days in jail, you have 5, and the state is offering 5 days jail time as confinement or as your punishment. That 5 days can be used toward your jail time. So in essence, they can give you what is called credit for time served. Now, if they offer you 7 days, you got 5. That simply means you have to do 2 more. Now, every day that you spent in jail as well, it also means that you get credit at $100 per day. Every day that you spent in jail, so if you was in jail 5 days, that's $500. And that jail time can be used toward your fine and court costs. So if they are offering you fine and court costs of $500, you spent 5 days in jail, you will not have to pay anything else because the fine and court costs will be taxed and retired. Now, if you have a fine that you've been ordered to pay and you can't pay it that day, then the court can give you time to pay it off. They can put you on a payment plan. Let's say you have to pay a fine and court costs, and Even if they put you on a payment plan, you can't pay it off because of your financial situation. Then the court can convert your fine and court costs to community service. Now, Jefferson County has a program that is called pretrial diversion. Pretrial diversion is a program that is run by the district attorney's office. In essence, what happens is you get in the program, they dismiss your case, you can get the case expunged from your record. Now, in order to get into the program, a couple of things has to happen. First of all, you have to have an attorney to represent you. The next thing is you cannot have a criminal history. This has to be your first case, like your first time getting in trouble. And third, it cannot be a case involving resisting arrest or unlawful carrying weapons. Now, if you are able to get into the program and you complete the program, the case is dismissed, you can get it expunged from your record. What an expunge means is it can be erased, wiped off, or deleted from your criminal record. And that's one of the benefits of pretrial diversion. Now, the other thing is if you're a veteran of any one of the branches of the United States military, Jefferson County has a program that is called Veterans Court. It's part of the pretrial diversion program. You get into the program, you complete the program, case dismissed, you can get it expunged from your record. And the only thing you have to do is be a veteran of any one of the branches of the United States military. They will review your application, and they will, when I say they, I'm talking about the district attorney's office, and they will determine whether or not you get into the program. Now, this court has a program that is called the CSI program. CSI stands for Community Safety Initiative. With that program, we have various partnerships in the community to address various issues. We have a partnership with Spindletop MH&R. That's our local mental health agency. And we have mental health officers, counselors in court. They can do a private interview. They can do an assessment. And MH&R can do develop a treatment plan, either outpatient or inpatient, to address any mental health needs that you have. MH&R or Spindletop also have a program that is called ATAR, and ATAR is a drug and alcohol recovery program. We also have a partnership with, well, not a partnership, but we also, if a person have issues with drugs and alcohol, we can refer them to OZAR, our local drug and alcohol counsel. And they will, like Spindletop, they can do an interview, they can do a screening, and they can develop either outpatient or inpatient treatment for individuals who have issues with drugs or alcohol. Now, for individuals who are unemployed or looking for work, we have a partnership with the Golden Triangle Empowerment Center, who has a partnership with Lamar University. And Lamar University has a program that is called CICE. And that stands for Center for Innovation, Commercialization, and Entrepreneurship. It is a job training and a job placement program. Individuals are trained in the hotel industry or the shipping industry or the chemical industry. And once they are trained in one of those areas that they select, they will help them to get employment in the area that they are trained in. Now, individuals who are have not graduated from high school and they would like to get their GED, Lamar University, CICE has a program for help that can help you to get your GED. Now, all of these programs that I just spoke about are free. It does not cost you anything. Only thing you have to do is have a desire or interest to be in any one of those programs. The other thing about the programs that I just spoke about, all of these programs can be used as community service. And what that basically means is you can kill 3 birds with 1 stone. And what I mean by that is this. Let's say you've been ordered to pay a fine and court costs, but you can't pay the fine and court costs. So we convert the fine and court costs to community service. And let's say you are in drug treatment or drug and alcohol treatment. That's the third thing. Or if you're in a job training program, or you may be in a mental health program, or you may be in a GED program. any one of those programs that you're in, every hour that you're in that program, 1 hour will go toward your community services, and the $12.50 will go toward your fine and court costs. Okay, so you're in the program. This one you can do a community service, and you're paying your fine and court costs. So you're doing you're doing one thing, but you're getting credit for three things. And all of those programs that I spoke of are free, do not cost you anything. And as I say, our program is designed to address what is called recidivism. Recidivism means people committing crimes over and over. And so what we do is address the issues. And I say this all the time. In County Court at Law number 2, we don't have court as usual, we have unusual court. It's not because we're different, but because we're trying to make a difference of the lives of the individuals that comes before the court, and a difference in our community. And individuals who participate in the program. The program is designed to produce productive people. And for the most part, productive people do not commit crimes. Why? Because they have too much to lose. And so with our program, as I said earlier, only thing you have to do is have a desire to be in the program, and all of the programs those programs are free. Okay. Now we have someone here from Spindletop. We have Deputy Hinton. He's going to come to you and tell you about the program that they have with Spindletop. Deputy Hinton.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. My name is Steve Hinton. I'm a mental health deputy in the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. I'm licensed by the state of Texas. I'm here with a couple of my partners, Ms. Shelby and Brother Jess. They are qualified mental health professionals with Spindletop. And the reason we're here is because of one reason. Is because the judge has graciously invited us in the courtroom because he cares about people. What we have learned is that sometimes there's underlying issues that result in people's legal issues. So if we can address those, which may be mental health issues or substance use disorders, and if we can address those, we believe that we can help you get out of the cycle of arrest if that is something that is affecting you. A couple problems we notice is that we don't know if we don't ask, so that's what we're doing this morning. We're asking you, and we don't know if you don't share that with us. So in a few minutes, as the court proceeds, I'll be going out and visiting with y'all and giving y'all an opportunity to share that. If we can help you, we have resources, we can give you some guidance and direction. Maybe it doesn't apply to you, maybe it applies to a family member. We'd be glad to help you with that as well. We also have a back room back here that we can, these qualified mental health professionals will be glad to visit with you for a short time and kind of give you a little bit more direction, a little bit more privacy. Just remember, anything that you reveal to us is private, it's HIPAA regulated. We will not divulge that to anyone else. We respect everybody's privacy. We also respect everybody's time. So if you don't have time to speak with us and you want to, we also have a brochure. We have phone numbers here. We just want to make sure that you get the help you need if this applies to you. So if you'll give us that opportunity, we'd be glad to visit with you today. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome. And I may add, ladies and gentlemen, we also have flyers for anyone who's interested in the job training and job placement program with CICE. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do, we're going to pick up the paperwork from you. That's going to take us a little time. And so at this time, you can just sit and relax. And this shouldn't take us that long. And what we're going to do is, from time to time, our court coordinator will be calling names. And when she calls your name, you're going to go stand on the far end in front of her, and she'll tell you what she needs you to do. Or at this time, we'll